In today's YouTube video, I'm going to show you how I made this very cute flat lay outline. And thanks for being here. If you want to like and subscribe right away, that would be awesome. Or you can wait till the end of the video. Right now, I'm just adding in all of my elements that I got from Unsplash Me. Some of the photos I've taken, like the photo of my sunglasses and the photo of my phone, I took just with my iPad. So I'm going to Actions, Add, and then Add Photo. And I'm just adding in all my different elements, and then you'll see me erase different parts of them because I only want certain parts because I wanted to kind of make it my own. I will go to the layer, decrease the opacity if I want to put it in a specific place, and then I'm just going to erase around it just so I'm not having the distracting remaining parts of the photo in the way. I use this one with the laptop, or with the keyboard, the mouse, the camera, the glasses and stuff as my base, and then I'm using the selection tool to kind of move things around. I wanted the notebook somewhere. I wanted to keep the camera and the big notepad in the middle, and then the pens and pencils, or pen and pencils. And then I'm just erasing the parts of that. Just make sure you're on the right layer when you go to start erasing. For this one, I wanted the mouse, which I didn't even end up keeping the whole time, the rest of the time anyway. So I'm gonna erase just a couple more parts of this layer, stuff that I didn't want. I didn't really want to draw the keys. That just seemed like a lot of work to me. So I've got the flowers, the glasses, the phone, the notebooks, the pen and pencil, the camera, and then the tiny notebooks and the mouse. And the mouse, I don't even end up keeping, and the phone I end up redoing. So I'm not going to be talking for this whole video. I'm also just going to, make it peaceful. I am using the dry ink brush, and make sure we're on a new layer once we start. And I'm going to speed up this phone one. The phone and the mouse the first time around are sped up very quickly after the first few seconds of me working on it, because I end up disregarding it anyways because I don't like it. But I wanted to keep it just to let you know that sometimes things don't work out and you don't end up liking it, and it's okay to redo it. So here we are, speeding it up and just watching me mess this up. Ended up not liking about this particular phone that I had done is the edges I felt like were too thick, and I just feel like it didn't look like a normal phone. And I wanted to keep it all like black and white because I'm going to do another video where I color it all in, and that will be really fun. But I just feel like I didn't like how it turned out. I didn't like how the edges were so thick, so I left it, and then we'll come back to it later. Now I'm going to do the notebook, and we're going to speed that up as well, and then I'll do the pen and pencil after. And I'm not going to talk just because these are very simple. I just do the long line, and then I do the long hold, so it makes it like perfectly straight, and I use that for a lot of the lines for all these elements. So next we're going to do the mouse, and the reason I did the mouse initially because I thought it was cute, and then I took it out because it didn't really fit because I didn't have any other computer parts. In the original photo there was the base of a Mac and then the keyboard, and I just felt like it just wasn't vibing. So here I am going really fast doing it, fixing the edges. I love the dry brush graininess that you saw right there, but yeah, I ended up taking it out later. I also ended up taking out the sunglasses because I didn't feel like I did a good job on those. Now we're gonna do the flowers. So I was like, oh, I can just do every single petal, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna draw my own flowers and my own leaves because I don't want to be here all day, because you don't need to watch me do flowers for 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna keep the basic shape of the flowers, and just someone on TikTok called these my cabbage flowers, which I thought was very cute. So we're just gonna do basically the cabbage flower, keep that same basic shape, by adding those petals. I'm gonna add just a couple more rounded and curved petals around the edges just to make it look like it's got lots of petals. It's a very full, fluffy flower, basically. So there's our first one. We've got that going on. Loved how that one turned out. I felt like it was super cute. Now I'm just gonna add bits and pieces of this one since it's cut off by the edge. There we go. And I'll just let you watch the rest of this and enjoy it. For the last couple leaves, I did bring the opacity down on that flower layer just so I could see a little bit more of the leaves. Thought I wanted to add some more detail, but I changed my mind. So we're just gonna add in these leaves here. And when it was so dark, I couldn't really tell what they were, so I just kind of added them all over the place. Added some lines to the leaves just so they were all consistent. And I loved how that turned out. So cute. Now we're gonna do the notebooks. This will also be sped up just because it's just straight lines. My iPad also glitches here and it like froze up and I had to close it out. So if you see things like stop and then kind of like abruptly start again, it's because my iPad froze. I think it was a little bit overwhelmed by all the line art and the layers, which was unfortunate. So now I'm going to start unselecting some of the layers just so I can start seeing how it's coming together. And I'm not like crazy in love with this piece. This was more just because I thought it would be a peaceful YouTube video. Here I am kind of peeking at stuff. I was processing if I liked the mouse and the phone or not. Now we're going to do the camera. And I'm just basically going to add all the line art here. Use the quick shape tool for the circles. If you add a finger, so you'll draw your circle, you'll hold it for a second, and then tap with another finger will make it to a perfect circle. So I'm going to add 3 of those. Maybe a 4th, I can't remember. And I'm going to lower the opacity of the camera just so I can see some of the more fine details in that shadowed section. And I'm really excited to do the coloring video of this because I'm excited to add all of these shadows and the highlights back in. I think that's going to be really fun. That will be a much more exciting tutorial than this one. This one's more just peaceful and calm. At least I'm trying to make it that way. Now we're going to do the body. I'm going to do that quick shape feature for that first line. Now we're going to add the body, and here I'm just trying to be slow and deliberate so I don't have to do it over and over again. And I'm not super focused on it being perfect because the style is like supposed to look hand-drawn since it's outlines. So with all the details, I wasn't super worried about it being so perfect and consistent. And the last step with this one, I'm just going to add those little highlights. Because I thought that those were cute. So we're going to add those in, just kind of squiggly around. I'm not worried about those being perfect either. Just kind of squiggle that so it looks like there's something there to take up that space. Scribble, scribble. And then I'm going to do the phone or the sunglasses, which I ended up hating. So we're going to end up speeding this up too because it's so hard to get glasses to look symmetrical that I wasn't having it today. So I'm going to lower the opacity just so I can see the details better and then get to it. Technically we're done, but I didn't like how bold those first lines were for the phone. So we are going to redo those, do some resizing. I'm going to make the notebook a little bit bigger just so it kind of takes up more of the space. And I made everything a little bit bigger, shifted things around because I just felt like it wasn't really balanced. I still don't feel like it's balanced even when it's finished, but I wasn't just gonna like do all this work and then not use it in a YouTube video. So you guys can learn from watching me and understanding that things don't always work out. See, I hated how bold those lines are, like compared to the flowers. So thick. So this is me processing. I'm like, we're gonna redo it. So I'm gonna unselect that phone layer, reselect my reference photo, and create a new layer. This time the lines are gonna be much thinner, and I think it's gonna turn out way cuter and more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know why you would have all these things like right up in your junk on your desk. I don't know why you would just keep a camera right there. Everything else kind of makes sense. You'd have your phone and your notebooks and stuff. But I'm only going to speed this up slightly. So this time I'm keeping the lines way thinner. I'm going to do the border around the screen, and then the border around kind of like the black part between the screen and the edge. And then I'm going to do one more outline, or like as if it were the case. So that will make it so I can color those in, and it will make more sense once they're colored in, like what they all are. And I had to redo these lines a couple times. I added a little extra button pop out for this one, and then try and just take it really slow when you're first doing your outlines, especially if there's slight curves and stuff, and focus on moving from your shoulder rather than just moving your wrist. That will help you get more control. I also used some of those straight line techniques. Then I have this, like I made this wallpaper that's on my phone, but I'm not going to draw all the details because your girl didn't want to be here all day. So I basically do all the big oranges, and then I just add in some of the final details. But I'm going to do the YouTube box first because last time I did that last, and then it didn't end up working out. So I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm excited to color this part in again. I think that will be really fun. I'll be able to play with a little bit more texture when we do the part 2 coloring video. So I'm just gonna erase the lines. I'm keeping it on the same layer and just being more careful about my erasing. Not necessarily adding in all the leaves. You even see me add some and then delete them because I don't like how it looks. And usually if you do an arc and do that same like finger tap, it will make it a perfect circle as well. Doesn't work every single time. I'm gonna add the little icons down at the bottom, and I'll let you just watch the rest because I've done a lot of talking. Couple details for the phone, the time, the little lock symbol, the YouTube notification that I just conveniently had when I took this photo. Gonna add those icons in, and the date and everything. And I just did it all in black. I wasn't too worried about making it white. If I change my mind about that later, maybe we'll change it. I don't know. Probably not. And this is an awesome time to like the video if you're still here, and if you're enjoying watching this, or if you've learned something, and if you want to subscribe, that would be great too. It's been so amazing seeing my channel grow. So this is basically the end of it, but I wanted to write something on the notebook. I think I'll end up doing some designs on it for the color portion, just so it's a little bit more fun to watch. So I just wrote the word notes out, but I obviously had to find the right thickness. So you see me speeding through it, and then we'll slow it down for the last portion of the little calligraphy. And I think I will add maybe some flowers or fruit or something on the notebook, something cutesy, or even just some circles or lines or something. Basically, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to do some last minute wiggling around. I think the pens and paper, or the pen and yeah, those may become a little bit bigger. I feel like there's still like that empty space in some of the places. I don't feel like it's perfectly weighted, but I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 where we color it all in.